Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cog Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic Saturday wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to, of course, the breaking news that we do have a here we go on Jeremie Frimpong. Yes, Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Liverpool are going to sign Jeremie Frimpong, and of course it's a here we go. We'll take a quick look at his report, of course. Well, I say his report, of course, his tweet, and again, get your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below as well, of course, because I think, again, a lot of people are excited, of course, obviously what Liverpool are going to do this summer. And of course, we now have the first summer signing, which is Jeremie Frimpong. Technically second, because of course, we could technically class Mamadashvili as one, but still, look, at the end of the day, we'll take it. Of course, obviously Liverpool cementing Conor Bradley, getting him signed to a brand new contract, and also confirming Jeremie Frimpong before Trent Alexander-Arnold leaves Liverpool. Again, shows intentment, really, and realistically, it's kind of like F you, really. I do believe it's that. Anyway, but look, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section down below, of course, anyway. But we will take a look then at, of course, the tweet, and it does go on to say the breaking Jeremie Frimpong is set to join Liverpool. Here we go. Agreement done for Dutch right back as Bayer Leverkusen are informed on the €35 million release clause being triggered. Understand Frimpong will sign a 5-year deal with medical now being scheduled. Of course, new right back for Liverpool, of course, which again, it's great news. It's fantastic news that Liverpool, again, have got this deal done very, very quickly. Let's be honest, from Monday onwards, it's felt very rushed in terms of, again, Liverpool trying to get this done, because again, that €35 million release clause, again, for the player of Jeremie Frimpong, once again, it's a very special release clause, really, where a player of his quality and the market value of him being around £29 million is ridiculous. The fact he can play as a right back, he could play further forward as a right midfielder or right forward. But again, just for his ability, I say €35 million for under £30 million is an absolute bargain, in today's market, and you're not going to get any better than that, really. In my personal opinion, anyway, I don't think you're going to get much better than that in the market as well, especially at right back. Because again, everybody knows really Liverpool are looking for a right back, obviously, to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold, and of course with them, we know teams will bump the price up extra because A, it's Liverpool, and B, we're desperate in some way to look for a right back. But again, we've found the right back, and the right back is Conor Bradley and Jeremie Frimpong as well, which again, I'm very, very excited for that, of course. And again, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section down below, because it's a very exciting time at the moment for Liverpool, because of course the Florian Wirtz news coming out this week as well. I think Liverpool are going to hit very hard towards the end of the season, as soon as the league season's finished, and of course with June coming right around the corner, I would expect Liverpool to ramp a lot of deals up. Obviously Kirkes has been linked for a while, and I think everybody assumes he's going to join Liverpool as well. But I think once the league season's done, I think we will start to hear, conversations. Of course, obviously, we will find out next week what is happening with Florian Wirtz, in terms of, what, his intentions are in terms of joining Bayern Munich or potentially joining the Premier League. And of course, I think another thing to really take into interest is where certain teams finish in the Premier League, of course, because look, at the moment, I know you lot will be watching the FA Cup. I'm watching it right now myself. And of course, Manchester City, there's a possibility they don't finish in the Champions League. So how does that affect their pursuit in Florian Wirtz as well? And if he does decide to choose elsewhere and not go to Bayern Munich, Liverpool have kind of got a big run at him, really, haven't they? And I think, look, with the start now of getting Frimpong over the line, I think with us now looking at potentially other options as well, again puts us in a really, really good position going into next season already. And we've barely finished the season. Of course, we're pretty much Liverpool on the beach, but still, it's the fact that we are showing intentment already going into next season. Because again, Jeremie Frimpong adds a lot of unpredictability towards Liverpool's attack now down that right hand side, and I do think it's going to be exciting with Jeremie Frimpong in a Liverpool shirt, of course, as you guys can see him there. Doesn't he look good at a Liverpool kit anyway? But big up Brian as well, saying hi. Colin as well, big up Sean as well, saying a great signing. Slot will be very happy to get this deal done. Yeah, absolutely agree with you. I think, look, judging from other wording as well that's been going around, I think I'll quickly find Ben Jacobs' kind of report that suggested that Liverpool wanted Jeremie Frimpong last summer, and we didn't end up doing the deal. I will quickly find his report on that, but even still, like Jeremie Frimpong, it was just stupid not to get him, really. And I kind of look at it and go, like, for a player of his quality, for 35 million euros is ridiculous, because I think his market value is around 45 million euros, which of course every club looks to bump an extra 10 plus million on that, of course, as well. So I look at it and go, for me, I think it's a bargain signing, really, because not only is it something that, once again, Liverpool, again, for me, are perfect at doing, between the price ranges of what 34, 50 million. Like, Liverpool tends to not get things wrong in that market, really. Or, the 30 to 50 million signings we tend to get right. And again, I think this is another one, really. I do think Liverpool have smashed us out the park. I think Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, Arne Slot, they've really, got this nailed down as well. Because we've said in the past, if we had somebody like a Kyle Walker in certain games, how much that would have affected us and how could that benefit us, really. And now we've kind of got that. Again, Jeremie Frimpong walks into Liverpool's team as probably the fastest Liverpool player now, and one of the fastest in the Premier League, at least, if not the fastest player in the Premier League. So when we're talking about, again, him getting done defensively, his recovery speed back will get him out of a lot of situations, which again is massively beneficial towards Liverpool in terms of build up and in terms of counter press, and in terms of, again, Liverpool going on to do certain things as well in the build up. So I think it will 100% be it definitely would be something very interesting for Liverpool's future as well, anyway. But I want to quickly get this report up from Ben Jacobs for you guys as well. Of course, as it says, but I didn't even click on it, and that's bad on my end. But as it does go on to say, but as you can see, inside Frimpong's move to Liverpool, told 12 months ago he was a top fullback target. Builds himself as a more traditional right back, works with private coaches on 1v1 defending, newfound passion for self-development books, will bring his dog to Merseyside, which I didn't really expect that one either. But I do want to, again, we're going to stick on Ben Jacobs' Twitter page, because where was it? Yeah, this was the one. So, as he does go on to say, but Liverpool have agreed a 5-year contract with Jeremie Frimpong, with the deal now proceeding formalities. Frimpong was on Liverpool's radar for a year, but Xabi Alonso persuaded him to stay last summer. Real, Barca, Manchester City, and Manchester United all inquired for him as well, which, again, for me, goes to show Liverpool's pull. When people talk about, Liverpool don't have any pull, look, I think, of course, Jeremie Frimpong's been teasing the Liverpool move for quite some time, hasn't he? I think you can even go back to things like, I think back in 2018 when he was talking about Liverpool in interviews. And I think more telling was last season when, of course, the road to the Europa League final, again, I think Frimpong spoke about it in high that, again, he wanted it to be Liverpool in Dublin. I think a lot of people thought that might have been the final at one point last season. Of course, we got beat by Atalanta, and of course by Leverkusen got battered by Atalanta as well, and they were rightful winners of the Europa League. And I kind of look at it and go, for me, again, Jeremie Frimpong, I think his attitude is right as well, and judging from, again, reports and, watching a few videos and that, like, he seems like a very, down-to-earth type person as well, which I think, again, will fit into the Liverpool style of things as well. Of course, he'll know, obviously, a lot of Dutch people, obviously the coach, the captain, for example, obviously Virgil van Dijk, Cody Gakpo as well. Them two are very good friends, supposedly as well. So, again, he'll fit right in, I would say, personally as well anyway. But big up Polo as well, saying, hi Con, who would you buy as a goal scorer? Of course, the dream would be Alexander Isak, wouldn't it? I would, again, it would be lying to say, oh yeah, no, we want somebody else than Alexander Isak. Like the top tier people are Julian Alvarez and Alexander Isak, and whether or not Liverpool, go, for again, players down below that, I'm not so sure. But again, if we want to test the waters for a season with Florian Wirtz as a false nine, I'd be all for it. I would very much be all for it. But look, of course, it does look like he's going to go to Bayern Munich. I'm not going to sit here and go, no, Liverpool 100% the favourites. Like, no, like, we've been here before, haven't we? Saicedo, Lavia, Zubimendi, like, again, we've been here in the previous seasons, and unless, of course, we do have encouragement next week, then of course, then I'd say absolutely get giddy and absolutely, become ecstatic, really, with the fact that Liverpool could get this type of deal done. Hang on, guys, let me turn my light down a little bit because it's a bit bright. But yeah, I would say then get ecstatic and really, get happy about it. But as the things of right now, I personally would just, kind of put caution on it, because again, we've been here before, haven't we, with Wirtz, and the type of transfer like it, where other teams have done more work, really, because Bayern Munich have done more work. They have done. They've had multiple meetings with his family, but there's two really conundrums with it. Is A, Bayern Munich cannot afford 150 million euros. Liverpool can, as per reports from Lewis Steele. I believe, I think even James Pearce also mentioned it as well. I think Paul Joyce also spoke about it, where Liverpool can get up to that type of money. And of course, people then will start to question and go, well, why aren't Liverpool spending that money on Alexander Isak? And it's just simple. He's not available. Unfortunately, like, again, if Newcastle said, look, if somebody comes in for 150 million pounds, I think Liverpool would do it. I genuinely do. But I think what separates the Florian Wirtz stuff as well is the fact that A, it's 150 million euros, which is around 125 million pounds. Liverpool have a great relationship with Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer Leverkusen don't want to sell to Bayern Munich unless it is for ridiculous money. Because they don't want to strengthen a title rival, really. And supposedly Florian Wirtz's dad isn't happy with how Bayern Munich have dealt with things around the whole news that he's had an agreement with Bayern Munich and this, that, and the other. And I think Florian Wirtz is obviously his agent is his dad, but the report was that, again, his dad hasn't agreed anything with anybody yet, and this is why they came to England. This is why they took pictures from Liverpool. This is why they took pictures of Manchester City as well. So again, hopefully we will have a good dream on it. But again, with Frimpong being the first signing of the summer, again, it's a great start, really. And I for me, I would turn around and say the next deal that comes in is Kirkes, I would say. But that's just me taking a hunch. I think the left back signing will get done, and I do think it will be Kirkes. I think last week I said Ait Nouri could be an option. I think he still could be, but I think Kirkes is definitely number one, really. And again, Liverpool could go Joel Hatto, but I think that's more of a centre back option than a left back option, really. But again, we could be surprised either way. But Bryce says Bayern would be such a boring move. It would be as well. I think, he spoke about, hasn't he? I think it was in Sport Build where he said he's fascinated with maybe getting out of his comfort zone and moving away from Germany and moving out of the Bundesliga. Which if he wants to do that, then great for Liverpool, really. But yeah, I think if he isn't going to choose Bayern Munich, I do think Liverpool is number one. I don't necessarily think City are number one, really. But it could be wrong. Absolutely could be wrong. Because I think a lot of City fans seem to think the Liverpool news is fake, which it's not true. Of course, anyway. But again, at the moment, Palace are 1 minute away or 2 minutes away from winning the FA Cup. It'd be brilliant if they could do that. But Nunes to leave pretty soon too. Yeah, Saudi Pro League bids are coming in very soon. For Darwin, £90 million. Why not? No, but seriously, it looks like it's going to be very, very, very soon. We'll find out news on Darwin Nunes anyway. But yeah, obviously going back to more on Jeremie Frimpong. Of course, again, obviously we had the Here We Go from Fabrizio Romano. I believe, again, we've had, other journals come out and obviously have their piece on it. It is a 5-year contract as well, which is great for Liverpool. And I think the best thing as well is the fact we've got this pretty much done in a week, which I absolutely love. I love the fact that Liverpool have just, got it done. And we haven't really, like we've done maybe in other seasons where Liverpool have kind of just like, what's the right word to use? Like stumbled over it, really, or stumbled over the line for it. Like we've done that in the past, and I'm kind of like, oh, like it's a bit annoying as well. But we're going to take a look into, of course, David Ornstein's report into it, of course, as well, because he has added a lot to it as well. It's not just Fabrizio Romano that's added to it. Let me quickly bring this article piece up for you guys. Give me 2 secs. And that's not the way we're going to do it. That's definitely not the way we're going to do it. So let me just bring this up on screen for you guys. There we go. So it does go on to say that, as you can see there, let me quickly scroll that down so you guys can see that. So yeah, it does go on to also say that Jeremie Frimpong set for Liverpool medical after agreeing a 5-year deal. This is according to, of course, David Ornstein. As it does go on to say that Jeremie Frimpong is set to undergo medical ahead of completing a proposed transfer to Bayer Leverkusen, from Bayer Leverkusen, to Liverpool. Frimpong has agreed a 5-year contract at the Anfield club, will activate his release clause, which is worth in the region of 35 million euros, which works out around 29.6 mil. The Athletic reported on Thursday that Liverpool were advancing in talks to sign the 24-year-old, who had emerged as one of Europe's most coveted right backs. He's registered 14 goals and 12 assists in 47 appearances across all competitions last season, helping Leverkusen go unbeaten to clinch the Bundesliga title. Frimpong extended his term until 2028, but is to depart once the summer transfer window opens. Since his 2021 move from Celtic, Frimpong has earned praise for his dynamic attacking style. Leverkusen sporting director Simon Rolls phrased the importance of following the renewal in October, calling him one of the best players in the league in that position. This campaign, the Netherlands international has made 48 appearances for Xabi Alonso's side, scoring 5 goals and adding 12 assists. As it also say, a move to Liverpool would see him replace Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is set to move to Real Madrid when his contract on Merseyside expires in early June. Earlier on Saturday, Liverpool right back Conor Bradley, there's only one Conor Bradley, of course, obviously on Saturday, early on Saturday, Liverpool right back Conor Bradley signed a 4-year contract through till 2029. And of course, there's opinion pieces on that then, of course, in terms of what he brings and so on as well, which again we will do on other videos, of course. But again, the main one is the fact that he is, of course, set for a medical, which again is great news, really, of course, anyway. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts down below, because again, I think him obviously getting that medical done, of course, I don't think it will properly get announced until maybe after the season. 'Cause it would be, I think it would be interesting to see if they do that or not. But again, we could be wrong. They get 100% turn around and go, "Oh yeah, we're just going to announce it now," which again would be boss. Liverpool did do that anyway. But Bryce says, "Would you expect him to start over Bradley?" Not straight away, no. I think it's going to be a mixture, in my opinion. I think we're going to see kind of him and Connor Bradley. I wouldn't be too surprised, though, and this is just me saying it, if we seen a mixture of Connor Bradley, Frimpong, and Joe Gomez playing right back next season. Because I think it was interesting. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago, where Arne Slot mentioned Joe Gomez at right back for Liverpool? Now, we've said for some time, haven't we, that again, the way Liverpool play at the moment is, Trent either overlapping or inverting, or Connor Bradley, and again, the three of Robbo, Van Dijk, and Kanate, they kind of turn into a three, don't they? Really, let's be honest. And maybe if we play Joe Gomez there, and of course, if we sign, if we do go on to sign Kirkez, then maybe in certain games where we do play maybe more of a Joe Gomez at right back, and then that the three is Virgil van Dijk, Kanate, Joe Gomez, where you've got Kirkez bombing up and down, or whoever else we sign as a defender. Because if we sign Hato, you could then do that. Liverpool could absolutely have a three in possession of Hato, Van Dijk, and Kanate as well. But again, the Kanate contract's huge for Liverpool, because that will also determine how or what else Liverpool do this summer. Because look, to replace a player of Ibu Kanate, you're going to have to sign one of the best centre backs in world football. And again, like, Liverpool aren't going to just sit there and go, "Oh yeah, leave on a free transfer again." Like, no, we've definitely learned from that, haven't we? To be fair, but yeah, I think it'd be a mixture, personally. But Polo says Kirkez and another realistic FSG price range in Mbeumo and Delap. No, Liverpool not in for Delap. That's already been confirmed. Mbeumo was an interesting one. What is he, 24, 25? Could definitely potentially see it as a Mo Salah backup for sure. If you wanted to kind of go down that road. But again, Brentford aren't gonna just step over, really. Of course, they are going to be asking premium price money for him. Just pray he passes the medical. He'll be down on Monday, hopefully. Hopefully, mate. Anyway, but Madrid have announced Huijsen, so why not? Yeah, like, again, I'm like wherever with Huijsen. He does have fuller potential. Of course he does. He is a very, very good centre half for his age. But again, I'm kind of like, whatever. I'm not really asked about losing him. Really, especially to them scumbags. Anyway, Bradley signed a new contract, also top red, 100% a red. Yeah, absolutely is. And again, he'll develop it as well. Again, obviously people will say, "Oh, the signing of Frimpong kind of hinders his development." No, it doesn't. It adds to it, really, because again, this is what we've kind of maybe lacked in certain positions, I think, over years, where our best seasons in 18-19 and 19-20 was when the squad was full of like really good players, and all right, we knew the starters, of course we did, but in certain positions we had very good players. And I think the best thing for a squad is competitive, be competitive for the position. And now you look at that right back spot, as some people have some people, if you have said, who starts at right back, is it Connor Bradley or is it Jeremie Frimpong? And the question is, nobody knows yet because we haven't had pre-season. We haven't had a thought process on how Liverpool are going to play next season. Are Liverpool going to play the same way next season? No, absolutely not. I don't think Liverpool are not going to do that at all. But I have full confidence in this manager that he is the right guy to take us forward and take us to the next evolution of this Liverpool team and turning it more into an Arne Slot team, really, for the future. Man himself has been a trip. Yeah, I have had a trip. I had it yesterday as well, which is better. Anyway, but I prefer Hato for exactly that reason. More defensive, yeah. But again, the signing of Hato was smart, whoever does it, because again, he can play centre half, he can play as a full back as well, or you could even play a back three, with him playing on the left. Like, again, it makes perfect sense, really. But yeah, Palace are 1 minute away. Yes, they are. I hope Palace win, because look, they will end up getting Europe, which is fantastic for them. Which striker would you buy? Realistic? Again, Isak. Apart from that, I've heard from a few people that Sesko's a name to look out for. I just can't see it. Not for the price. I just can't see it, really. Unless Liverpool were, again, are we going to spend 100+ million on Wirtz and then go and buy Sesko? I don't think so, but who knows, really. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section down below, of course. I think Palace have won the FA Cup as well, so fair play. Well, congrats to Palace, of course. They're now, is it Europa League football, I think, they get, which is fantastic for them. Of course, anyway, which again would be, yeah, and exactly that's the problem, Bri, is the fact that, again, Sesko could be another Darwin. Yeah, absolutely, he is. Now, he has scored, is it plus 20? Yeah, Palace have just won. Fair play to him. Absolutely bossed that final as well. Fair play to Crystal Palace. But yeah, again, I think Sesko scored 20+ goals now in the Bundesliga over the last 2 seasons. And I look at it and go, well, you know what? It's kind of like, we've seen strikers as well go to the Premier League. It's not worked out. Darwin Núñez is the prime example for Liverpool. But for every club, there's also been strikers out there, like a Højlund, for example, for Manchester United. People were praising him to be the next best thing. He's absolutely awful, to be fair. Why's Pep Guardiola having a go at Dean Henderson? Piss off, Pep, as well. But yeah, Palace won the FA Cup. Fair play to him. Congratulations to Crystal Palace. Of course, the final day of the season at Anfield, both teams are going to be on the beach. And yeah, Pep's head's absolutely gone. He's taking the absolute mick. But yeah, Man City are done. Manchester City are done. No trophies for Man City this season. And do you know what? Supposedly, Liverpool won a non-competitive Premier League, where you look at it and go, Europa League final is both English teams. Conference League final, Chelsea. Newcastle won the Carabao Cup. Palace have just won the FA Cup. Again, and supposedly the Premier League is not competitive. What a load of shite as well. But yeah, fair play to them. And they will get Europa League football as well, which is huge for them. Absolutely huge. Fair play. Congratulations to them as well. Can you imagine Sellers Park, European nights? Wow, that's going to be special. But well-deserved trophy, absolutely. Ozan, hopefully doing well. Apparently, this is Palace's first ever major trophy con. Yeah, unbelievable. And you can already see how much it means to them. Watching it out. Fair play to them as well. And look, it's great the fact that no top 6 team really, or no big team, especially Manchester City, have gone on to win it really. And look, fair play to him. And to be fair, Glasner, since I think October, only Liverpool have had more points, I think, than I think Liverpool and Newcastle, I think it was, have had more points than Palace, and that's it. That's unbelievable if that's true as well. But Eze, Mateta, Munoz, Wharton, and Moore all brilliant this season. Yeah, absolutely. Again, they're not going to go anywhere, are they? 45 million for Kirk, as I heard. Yeah, you'd be somewhere around there, 40, 45 for sure as well. Which, again, something now that's kind of been broken as well that I haven't really spoken about. Obviously, Liverpool's record fee for a fullback has now been broken at 20. It's not 20 years. I'm lying at that anyway. But it has been 15 years since that's been broken. If anybody could tell me in the comments before we do shoot off, who was Liverpool's top transfer signing at fullback? Who's the highest? Who's the highest paid fullback? I'm not going to tell you who it is now, but I want to see if there are people who know in the comments as well. But Jeremie Frimpong does beat that. God damn you, Bright. God damn you. Yes, it was Colin Johnson as well. Not many people know this either, which is weird. I'm surprised people don't know this either, which I personally find it mad. I generally find it mad that people don't know it. But yeah, Glenn Johnson as well. Big up Phil as well. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, Glenn Johnson. What a guy as well. I always remember, was it West Ham away where he scored, like he beat like 6 players and then finished on his opposite foot, his weak foot, sorry. Again, brilliant as well. Of course, defensively it was a bit, yeah, but paid it off in the end. Obviously played in the Super Portsmouth team. Obviously they had Glenn Johnson, Jermaine Defoe. The partnership of Jermaine Defoe and Peter Crouch was broken. It just was, really, wasn't it? To be fair, but if Palace can do a job, I'm confident Spurs can do a job as well. Con Bilbao, yeah. One thing as well to take into consideration, it will be a Liverpool Palace Community Shield as well at Wembley. That's another thing to take into consideration. Yeah, it will be Liverpool Palace Community Shields next season as well. The first, silverware really. The Liverpool could win next season, of course, if you class it as a trophy, which again I know plenty of people don't, including myself in that. But still, look, it's again, hopefully be great for him, of course. Hang on a minute, chat. Why is that way? There we go. But yeah, Community Shields would be great. The pre-Community Shield will be at Anfield next Sunday. Yeah, true. just just give it that way anyway. Glasgow could be Bayern Munich. I imagine in the future. Yeah, 100%. Well, they tried to sign him, didn't they? But yeah, they didn't. They couldn't get him. With Kirkes and Frimpong, it's going to be the second coming of heavy metal football. Yeah, absolutely. Well done, Palace. City in the mud. Yeah, absolutely. He was useless, lol. He was good in some ways, wasn't he? Let's be honest. But yeah, no, I would also agree anyway. But look, for anybody that's just tuning in anyway, of course, we do have the Here We Go from Fabrizio Romano on the Jeremie Frimpong news. Of course, David Ornstein as well has also come out with the report as well. I'll get it back up for you guys. As it says today, obviously, Jeremie Frimpong set for Liverpool medical after agreeing 5-year contract or 5-year deal. Of course, the medical is set to take place on Monday, I think it is. When I said there, Jeremie Frimpong said undergo a medical ahead of completing a proposed transfer from Bayer Leverkusen to Liverpool. Obviously, 35 million euro release clause, but it doesn't say when either. So again, we'll have to wait and see for that, of course. Anyway, but look, I am going to leave it there for tonight, guys. Maybe we might be back tonight for more news. Of course, we might talk more about obviously the Frimpong news being confirmed, and of course, obviously, Conor Bradley getting confirmed as well, which is great news, really, of course. But any other bits and pieces as well will be live for it. Anyway, if it does come out, let me double check if there's nothing that has come out about the Frimpong news before we do actually shoot off. But hang on a minute, let me double check. But let me go back to the comments. Can we replace Trent with Frimpong? on the bus break? No, unfortunately not. No, unfortunately. I just clocked Conor Hager. Yeah, I did. As well. To be fair, I came out of the shower as well. I had a shower just before the stream. And yeah, I didn't do my hair properly anyway. Weird. But Conor will have to fight for that role. Frimpong starts every game if he's fit. Like I said earlier, I don't think it's going to be like, unless Arne Slot has an idea of the type of, the type of fullback that he wants, which is Frimpong. I kind of look at it and go, well, we could definitely see rotation a lot next season. But again, with Liverpool hopefully going far in in the Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup next season. Again, having them both is brilliant. Thank you, Bry, as well. He had a fight with him. No. What it is? So my hair just pops out when I come out of the shower. I look like the United Strand fella at times. Which, if you guys know who that is, fair play to use. But of course, if you don't know who he is, it's the fella that's not cutting his hair till United win 5 games in a row, which I think now has gone on for 2 seasons. So yeah, I think that's quite funny to be fair, and I feel sorry for him as well. But look, at the end of the day, it's boss the fact that again Jeremie Frimpong to Liverpool is a here we go as well. But big up Lee as well, saying Frimpong for I think you mean for a bargain. Yeah, absolutely, brilliant. And look, under £30 million for the player of Jeremie Frimpong, I think is an excellent deal, because again, if it doesn't work out sadly, then look, Liverpool can easily sell him for more. And I do think Liverpool could sell him for more, or just get their money back. Really, and I think that of course is going to be very, very interesting. And now it offers Liverpool, an added element to their attack, really. Because I know people go, oh well, defensively he's poor and this, that, and the other. It's like, let's not forget. By the way, we've tried to defend Trent over the last couple of years, about defensive numbers. I personally don't think Trent is as awful as people think he is. But again, like, for the creativity that we're going to miss with Trent, and quite clearly Liverpool are looking at a creative 10 as well, and looking to, again, create from the midfield. Again, it's a positive sign for where Liverpool are going to go in the future. As well, because look, if Liverpool do end up getting Florian Wirtz, or do end up getting the players that they want, then again, I think absolutely we're going to be absolutely in that, really, anyway. But look, we'll have to wait and see, of course, anyway. But Frimpong is a versatile as well. Yeah, absolutely. Big up Reds, you beautiful champion. I'm not going to read the rest, Lee, anyway, but hopefully you're well, mate. Of course, saying sorry, not sorry. Yeah, no, absolutely. Hopefully you are doing well, mate. And look, at the end of the day, which Liverpool champions, be happy. Next week is the parade. Be absolutely over the moon. Of course, I'm looking forward to it myself. Anyway, and look, hopefully you guys are as well. Anyway, but look, again, Liverpool will face Crystal Palace in the Community Shields, and the more important thing, Liverpool have their first summer signing of the transfer window again, which is amazing. But does Frimpong start immediately over Connor? No, I don't think so. But again, we'll have to wait and see for pre-season. Anyway, but of course we will have to wait and see what happens anyway. But look, hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your Saturdays anyway. Like I said, we might be back at 9 p.m. Like normal. Of course, talking about Conor Bradley, talk more about Jeremie Frimpong, any other bits of news we might be back for. Tomorrow we will be live for the Brighton preview, of course. That will be tomorrow's episode for you guys. That's 100% in. Of course, so again, any bits and pieces that does come out though will be live for it, of course. Which again, looking at the City team going up for their medals, of course, Kevin De Bruyne's last final for City as well, which is huge, of course. But look, on a Liverpool point of view, again, Jeremie Frimpong, here we go, all done and dusted. Of course, medical to come. And hopefully, again, it'll be confirmed in obviously over the next week. And of course, the fact that this is the first signing, we've got Mamardashvili to come in as well. And yeah, hopefully there'll be plenty of more signings to talk about in the coming weeks and months anyway for the summer transfer window anyway. But look, hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your days anyway if we're not back live later. And yeah, I will hopefully see you guys a bit later on or in tomorrow's episode anyway. But until next time, that's going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. I'll see you guys later on. Ta-ra.